Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in to this back to school recording. We're going to talk all about the incredible program, Your Voice is Power. Before we get started, though, you may know if you've been to any of our workshops or lessons, we always like to start with a land acknowledgement. I'm joining you from Treaty 7 territory here in Calgary, truly surrounded by so many rich Indigenous nations like the Blackfoot, Piikani, Kainai, Tsuut'ina, Stoney Nakoda, Métis, and you as well. I know you are surrounded by incredible Indigenous First Peoples. To learn more about our First Peoples, this is a great website, whos.land, and you can view this in English or French. I just felt it appropriate, given the content of Your Voice is Power, that we spend just a second looking a little bit closer at this. But this is the Whose Land website. You'll notice it's set up. You've got a whole map that shows treaties, it shows nations. We can filter by treaty, we can filter by Indigenous community, but I encourage you, take a moment, take a look at whos.land.ca, again, either in English or French. Just an incredible resource from our friends over at Taking It Global, who are also responsible for Your Voice is Power. So just wanted to make sure to share that with you. All right. Well, who am I? My name is Michelle Armstrong. I am the Director of Events and Community at Logix Academy. I'll tell you a little bit more about Logix Academy, but I want to make sure you have a link to the deck that I'm using today. There it is there. Oh gosh, I knew I had a slide with a dedicated link. But this slide deck that we're looking at right now includes a number of additional links and resources that you definitely want to have your hands on. So take a moment right now, either scan that QR code so you have a copy of this slide deck, or just put in that bit.ly in a new tab, bit.ly/B2S for back to school -YVIP, Your Voice is Power. So take a moment, make sure you have this deck. It's got some goodness inside. All right. We are Logix Academy. If you've just stumbled upon Logix Academy, not really sure who we are, welcome. We are one of Canada's sole distributors of a number of robotic solutions that you'll see on the screen. A bunch of them you might even have in your classroom or in your school. But what I do in the department I work with, I'm in charge of all events, professional learning, student lessons, and those are all pretty much free thanks to our funding partners. So we are a partner to Microsoft, Minecraft, Google, Apple, you know what, Canva's in there as well, a number of additional partners. Pretty lucky to do the work we do, just bringing you goodness thanks to our partners. Speaking about partners, this workshop and some subsequent lessons that I'm going to tell you about could not be possible without our partners at Your Voice is Power. This whole program was created by Amazon Future Engineers and Your Voice is Power. The funding comes from CanCode. Pretty epic that we can do so much thanks to CanCode, but just want to give a shout out to them. And now here's the important part. We cannot continue to do this work unless we let our partners in CanCode know, yeah, people are paying attention to the work we do. So I'm going to show this survey again at the end, but if something happens, you get sick of me and you decide not to make it all the way to the end, can you please come back and just do this survey? I promise you it'll take you maybe 3 minutes, but it's only through the completion of the survey that we're able to continue receiving funding. Guess what? We are so concerned about getting this feedback. We are going to be doing another draw for a number of $100 Amazon gift cards. So anybody who fills out this form receives a ticket, if you will, into our prize draw, where we're going to be giving away $100 Amazon gift cards. We gave away 5 of them at the end of June. We're going to be giving away 5 more of them at the end of September. Fill out the form, get your name in, and you have a chance to win. So thank you. Thank you. Like I said, I'll show this at the end as well, but very important stuff. All right. Well, what is Your Voice is Power? If you've already heard about Your Voice is Power, stick around. There's more out there that you might not know. But ultimately, I'm going to give everyone a bird's eye view. What is Your Voice is Power? They've got another new set of programming that deals with AI and songwriting. And then I'm going to tell you more about some student-facing events that we've got coming up as well. So, Your Voice is Power. Ultimately, Your Voice is Power. We're going to take a look at the landing page in just a moment, but what we're going to see is a really comprehensive set of curriculum that is going to help our students allow their voice to be heard through music and talking about themes like social justice, activism, etc. So we're going to dive over to the webpage. Why don't we do that right now? And I'll take you just on a live tour of Your Voice is Power. So Your Voice is Power. To find the site, it's yourvoicespower.ca. And this is the landing page that you get to. So many videos and resources that explain what Your Voice is Power is. Like I say, I'm going to give you a quick bird's eye view, and feel free to dive in and poke around yourself. Basically, where you want to go, we want to start just with the modules. So these modules have been specifically created for teachers just like you to help your students learn how to build music, but also, most importantly, learn how to have those conversations about racism, social injustice, etc. This module intro, when we go into that, that gives us really the whole lowdown of all of the lessons that you're going to find inside Your Voice is Power. Basically, this music we're creating, and don't get scared by this music that we are going to be asking our students to create is using a program called EarSketch that includes Python coding and mixing beats. Like I said, don't be scared. If I can do it, you can do it. But EarSketch is this platform where our students get to use Python coding to create their own music. We're going to dive into EarSketch in just a second, but Module 1 is all about, hey, what is EarSketch anyway? And then we dive in a little bit more, starting to talk about those layers of injustice. Okay, how might we then add to our song to be applicable to talking about layers of injustice? Then talking about layers of music, we start looking at the lyrics of some of the music we find inside EarSketch, talking about activism, talking about equity, and so on. So if you are interested in diving in to see more about what the curriculum looks like and what kinds of things you can help your students with, it's yourvoicespower.ca. Click on that module. And that was the module intro that I was just showing you there. Well, the next thing I want to show you is, okay, well, what is EarSketch? And also why might we even want to do anything inside EarSketch anyways? Well, you'll notice winners and judges. Your Voice is Power is a contest where your students can enter to win a $5,000 scholarship. And the cool thing, they give away 2 scholarships every year. One of them goes to an Indigenous student. One of them goes to an ally. So all students are encouraged to enter their music. And even if they don't win the top prize, there are a bunch of Amazon gift cards available to be won. And there's also a prize for a teacher that is encouraging a number of students to join the contest. So that teacher could be you. More info is inside yourvoicespower.ca, and you'll be able to take a look at the winners, the judges, the contest. We are going to dive in and show you last year's winner, By the way, this year's winner is going to be announced in September. Winners. So stay tuned for that. But the contest itself, again, this is just a very high level overview. Students are going to use EarSketch. Over 50 students are going to win prizes. Those are typically Amazon gift cards. Like I mentioned, the $5,000 scholarships are there. And then if you've got this link to my slide deck, which hopefully you've got that open, if not, rewind this video, go back to get the link to this slide deck. But right there on this slide, if you click on that song requirements, that gives you the full detail of what your students need to do to enter the contest. Well, let's talk about the contest. Let's talk about the winners. Let's take a look at EarSketch. So this here, this is straight from the website. This is Diane. Diane was one of the winners last year in 2024. Every winner, even if you're not the top winner, even if you're one of those other 50 winners, your music gets to go up on SoundCloud. That's very cool. You will also see that all of the students' songs are right there for any student to take a look at. You can look at the code that created the song. And that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to dive into Diane's code, and we're going to see what this EarSketch looks like, hopefully to inspire your students. So I'm going to take us full screen here just so that you can get a real good idea of what EarSketch is all about. So this is EarSketch. It's a free program. It was created by Georgia Tech. The cool thing, there's no student information required when you log in. Students have an option to put in an email address, but the only reason they need that is if they forget their password. So love, no student information required when we set up an account. Once we get into EarSketch, what you notice on this left-hand side, these are music artists that are allowing their music to be available royalty-free for our students to mix, to then allow their voice to be heard. This was started originally by Pharrell was one of the first to put his music in there, and you'll notice Alicia Keys is there, a number of artists that our students will notice. But what we love here in Canada, we have Canadian Indigenous artists that are allowing their music to be used. So Asenabe is here, Dakota Bear is here, Duke Redbird, a poet, Canadian Indigenous poet, very cool stuff by Duke Redbird. Jaylee Wolf is here, Samian is here, and of course, Twin Flames is here as well. So these are Canadian Indigenous artists allowing their music to be used by our students to help their voices be heard. So as I mentioned, this is Diane's winning song from 2024. The code itself, the code really doesn't have to be too intricate. Basically, what we teach students and what that curriculum inside Your Voices Power teaches you is how do we take advantage of defining variables. Okay, that's not too tricky. But then the magic is in this function called fit media. But basically, fit media is a Python function that calls, in this case, calls a variable, tells it, hey, put that track on track 1, start it at measure 1, and end it at measure 7. We'll also show students how to add comments into their song so they can explain what message they are trying to convey. But that's it. And through using this fit media function, along with variables and these songs that are available royalty-free, this is the song that Diane created. So it looks much like a Soundtrap or a GarageBand. You've got different music tracks, and she's mixing and matching different Indigenous artists. In this case, she's got Jaylee Wolf, she's got Dakota Bear. But let me just play this to give you an idea of the type of music that our students might create inside EarSketch. Here we go.
Grandma was young when the baby came, and she was locked up in a white room, rain, and the nuns held the key while they made her sign her name. They took my daddy away.
Right? So definitely some powerful lyrics. If you listen to that again, you can understand that there are some important messages being conveyed, and these artists inside EarSketch, that's what it's all about. Let me allow my voice, my message to be heard, and then our students, just like Diane, mix and match those messages to then convey what they want to convey. Just to note, teachers, if you teach probably grade 5 or earlier, some of the themes inside some of the music might be a little bit more mature for our younger students. So just be aware of that. You may want to preview some of the songs before you use it with your students or have those conversations. But as far as explicit language, there's no explicit language. These are vetted songs. But yeah, the themes definitely can be a bit more mature. Anyone grade 6 and up, certainly our high school students, this is where they can dive in and just allow their voices to be heard. So that's just a quick tour of EarSketch. The curriculum goes through and helps students learn this. Everything that Diane did there is all inside that curriculum. But let's just go back quickly to the slide deck. They also have just added a new AI songwriting lesson. And rest assured, this songwriting bot has been designed with students in mind. Our students are unable to put in their own personal information or sensitive information. The chatbot is going to say, wait a second, I don't think you should be putting that in there. But it's been designed to be safe, no student information required. If you go into the website, there is a whole list of the descriptions of why this is a student-friendly AI bot, and it's designed to help our students write music. But wait, the lesson itself also goes into those conversations. Who owns the music created by AI? Where does copyright come in? How might we be jeopardizing student creativity by using AI? Really rich lesson talking about AI, specifically to songwriting, which then ties back to Your Voice is Power and the contest. So definitely worth checking out. The link is on that slide deck. And then that links you directly to that chatbot. So you can check out what kind of songs it might create for you. And that's basically it. So in a nutshell, Your Voice is Power, incredible content, incredible curriculum, amazing contest where our students can allow their voices to be heard, including an AI songwriting chatbot. All of this can be yours for the low, low price of nothing. We also recognize, though, teachers, you've got a lot going on. How are you going to learn that whole curriculum and then teach it to your class? Well, guess what? That's where us at Logix Academy come in. As part of our Back to School Boost, you probably already saw this because if you've stumbled upon this recording, it's on this same website. So our Back to School Boost, there's the link to the whole host of workshops and lessons that we're offering. But not only are we offering these asynchronous teacher PD workshops, there's a bunch of them for free. We are also offering corresponding co-taught lessons or classroom lessons, student lessons. Ultimately, you project us to your whiteboard at the front. We will take the learning from there. So you have your students ready to go with a device connected to the internet. We are going to help them learn EarSketch, and we're going to start talking about those conversations about Indigenous rights, racism, and appropriately, the 2 classroom lessons are happening on September 30th. We're offering them at 2 time slots in the hope that more classes are able to join us live, but you will see that link to register for our co-taught lessons, September 30th, National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, where our team will help your students and you learn how to navigate EarSketch and start having those important conversations. So we hope you'll join us live. If you can't join us live, that's okay. The recordings are still great. So definitely click on the link that's on this slide here. Get yourself back over where you can register for the Your Voices Power co-taught lessons and a whole lot of other incredible programming. I'm a little biased, I know, but definitely hope you check it out. Lastly, this program, we are so fortunate, we can also offer you one-on-one virtual co-taught lessons. So one of our team will work directly with you and then join you and your class either by Zoom or Meet or Teams, whichever platform you prefer, to teach whichever content you want. If you want us to come in and teach AI songwriting, awesome. Yeah, free, 100% free. If you want us to teach lesson 1 of EarSketch, if you want us to have those conversations about activism and equity, anything that's a part of the Your Voices Power curriculum, we can come in one-on-one virtually and teach your class. So the link is right there, yvip.ucambook.me. That's where you can pick a time slot and we'll set up someone to come and teach your class at that time. If you pick a time slot and it doesn't quite line up with your class schedule, totally okay. Someone will contact you and we'll be able to get things scheduled for the exact time you need. Pretty cool stuff. All right. Remember, I said it earlier, this exit survey is so incredibly important. Please, oh please, take a moment right now. Either scan that QR code really quickly, put in that bit.ly into a new tab. I thank you so much for taking some time to make sure Your Voices Power and CanCode recognize people are listening to this programming. They are appreciative of all the work that Your Voices Power team does. So thanks for filling that out. And yep, at the end of September, we'll be doing that draw for some Amazon gift cards. With that, on behalf of Your Voices Power, and excited that Logix Academy is able to partner with this incredible organization, I just say thank you to all of you for sticking around till the end. And we sure do hope that you'll join us in some of our lessons and other programming at Logix Academy. So with that, thanks for watching and have a fabulous rest of your day.